Alright, welcome back. It will be time to continue with the Machariel. Now, I have changed this ship a lot. Mainly the DPS has been drastically improved. I did go and obtain the barrage implant, and now I'm working to level that thing up. I think currently it's at level 15 or at level 20. I will have to double check that. Now, I thought about buying the Cinnabal, and I actually think I will buy the ship right now, because why not? I want to return to the old cruisers that I used to fly. I haven't been flying the Cinnabal in over a year now, and I like the price of this ship. 777s. Okay, well, this Cinnabal should be a lucky one. So I will go and pick up the ship later on, but I will fly the Cinnabal again, I guess, because of the barrage implant and because I feel like I started to actually miss that ship. Now, the barrage implant that I have is currently at level 15. Now, I did work on leveling this up even more, so in real time the level is probably around 17 or 18. This is quite pricey, I will have to admit, but I will slowly go and level it up to as much as I can. And of course I have some general units that I use. They will be replaced with level 8 ones very soon, once they show up on the market. Now, let me go to the ship fitting and let me show the DPS. 3061.04 DPS. Now, I have reset some skills, and the DPS in real time is around 3,500, but when I recorded, the DPS is 3061.4, so that's the main difference. And the rigs on the Machariel are now tier 4, but here on the video I still use tier 3 rigs, which is okay. Overall, I'm very happy with the ending result on the Machariel. Quad gyro stabilizers work really well, and I have C-type large autocannons. Triple webs, 1 scrambler, and of course drones, sometimes 3 scramblers, depends on the target, but overall that's basically how I fly this ship. Now, I also did fly the Machariel with a full-on passive shield tank. I like how it works. It's actually pretty tanky, so we'll have to play around with that even more. At the time when I recorded this, the burst rig was 1.5 billion. I think I paid for my tier 4 rigs around 1.2 billion. Not really sure why the price started to go up, but I think I did buy them a little cheaper. And tier 4 warp core optimizers, well, I bought this at 2.5 billion, so I lost a lot of ESC on the warp core optimizers, but that's okay. Not really sure if I have equipped them. I will have to double check that. I know that in the time when I recorded this intro, I did not equip any tier 4 rigs. Now, I was asked if I will go equip integrations on the Machariel. I don't really think that I will do that, because the ship works really well as it is. Basically a DPS only ship, and with that in mind, I really don't have to change anything. Now, you will see a very funny build with the cloaking device. I still have enough DPS, but I can use the cloaking device to wait out the criminal timer. Very useful if you have very bad internet connection like I do. Actually does save me a lot of it does save your ship from very weird moments. Basically, you can warp to an asteroid belt or a planet and cloak to wait out the criminal timer, and then you can go and warp away, which so far has been working really well. Okay, now let me stop the ship. I just realized that the sound was off. My apologies. Okay, now that's much better. So, what is the current DPS on this Machariel with the current setup? Well, with the barrage implant active, the cold DPS will be 4008.40 5.54 DPS, which is okay. I did manage to get that up to 5 or 6,000 after leveling up the implant and after I solved some of the skill problems that I had with the ship. 5.6,000 with dual, with triple it's 6.2,000, and with 4 gyro stabilizers the DPS is 6.5,000. You know, I'm actually very happy with the current results. In the current situation here, definitely very nasty DPS. Oh man, you will definitely be surprised when I show you the Machariel in real time in the next Machariel video, where the DPS is 14,000, I think, something like that. I did say that I will make a very busted and broken ship, and I plan to keep my word, so it will be fun to see the progression that I am making with the Machariel with time. Well then, let's dock up now. I was also asked
docking request accepted
by a lot of players if you can use barrage on the Stratius, and that's a very interesting thing, because so far on the Stratius I have been mostly using the torpedo launchers. Don't really had to use anything else because so far with drone boats missiles work really well. 614.12 missile DPS. Now I currently don't have any turrets here, so I will quickly go to Ita to buy some of them for the Cinnabel, and then I will quickly go and borrow the turrets from the ship. Okay, let me go jump in the Stratius, and then let me change the high slot modules a bit. Personally, I don't really expect any big difference, because barrage works really well with gyro stabilizers, and on the Stratius I don't really use any gyro stabilizers. So let's see how a build like this will look. 544.12. Well, that's a little bit lower than the torpedo launchers, but let's see how much I get with the barrage implant active. 27, okay, a big difference from the 72 with the Machariel, probably because of the number of turrets. Okay, let's activate barrage. And the DPS is a little bit lower than the DPS with the torpedo launchers. So not really a good idea to use autocannons on the Stratius. With the Cinnabel, I have 12.45 cold DPS. Now I don't have any rigs on this ship as of now, so this is basically the cold DPS that you get with the current build and with the current implant. Not even a nanocore on the Cinnabel, but let's see.
Undocking.
Let's see what's the active DPS without any rigs or without any nanocores. Should be 1.8,000, that's my estimate based on the numbers that I see here. 1,190.12 with the barrage. Okay, with one gyro stabilizer. 1.4,000 with the second one. 1.6,000 with the third one. 1.8,000. Not bad for a ship that has no rigs. This is nasty, and I think I will have a lot of fun flying the Cinnabel again, especially after gathering a lot more experience in the game with time. I can safely say that now I play much better than I used to play with the faction cruisers before. The builds are different, the tactics are different, and I definitely made a lot of progress in the last 3 years in this game. Well then, with that being said, it will be time to jump in the Machariel and let's undock, and of course let's have some fun with the with the barrage implant. Should be interesting to see how this ship
Warp
works
drive
now.
active.
Okay, warping to the first testing site here. So, I did say that I will test out the Machariel with the cloaking device. We are doing some insurance fraud here, so will be a good test to see the lock time, because the cloaking device does affect the lock-on time of the ship quite a bit. I think it reduces it by 45%. So it took me around 10 seconds to lock on the Hyperion. Now, usually I like to use the brush to break the tank of something. So I usually enable the barrage when I have to beat the armor tank or shield tank of a ship. So usually I don't click on it to go through the shield, but you can also do that, although personally I would say that you should save the barrage for the moment where you have to break the tank of a ship. So far that seemed to be working quite well. And well, insurance fraud has been completed. Now let me warp away, and I will demonstrate how the cloak works on
Warp drive
a
active.
build like this. Now the idea is hilarious, and I would say to some degree the current build that I use is a little bit cursed. I've seen a lot of cursed builds, so I have quite the experience with that. So yeah, a little bit inspired by some cursed builds, but this cursed build might actually work. So align my co-op drive and click cloak, and now I can just sit here and wait out the criminal timer without worrying about anyone finding the ship, which is a very sneaky thing to do, and honestly probably should have tried that
Warp drive
a
active.
long time ago, but that's how the thing works. It's hilarious, it might be cursed, but at the same time it actually might work. We will see. If you see a Machariel kill mail, yeah, you know that the cloaking device has failed. So, next target, we have one rattlesnake. Now, we have two barrage Machariels present on the mission here, and one of the only ships that can easily survive a barrage Machariel is the rattlesnake. A brick tank rattlesnake with resistance rigs can easily deal with a barrage Machariel. So, is this rattlesnake a brick tank? Well, let's find out. I'm approaching slowly, moving at 1 kilometer per second. Barrage is active. All quad gyro stabilizers are active. And this rattlesnake, as you can see here, is incredibly tanky. To the point where I thought that this rattlesnake is a bait rattlesnake. We are slowly dealing with the shield of that battleship. Probably does have a damage control.
We're under attack.
And by the looks of it, it has a lot of adaptives, so
We're under
this
attack.
might be a very dangerous situation. The rattlesnake has enough time to actually call for backup. And if this is a big bait, well, we might be in some trouble here. The rattlesnake lost shield, and as you can see, the rattlesnake is now taking massive damage on armor. I really hope that I don't get the kill, because things might be... Oh well, I got the kill. Each time I don't want to get the kill, I get the kill. It's something that I can't explain. But now let's burn away, probably warping out. 3.3 billion rattlesnake, not bad. But first let me focus on... Should I warp away or should I stay inside of the mission? I don't have the clocking device, by the way. Did not have enough time to swap builds. I will warp towards... Let's go towards that asteroid cluster. Just in case. Seeing two Machariels on the scanner might be intimidating. Alright, sorry for the weird cut. I'm warping to the asteroid cluster. While warping,
Warp
let's
drive
take
active.
a closer look at the build. 3 adaptives, 1 reactive, double large shield boosters, and a capacity battery. Oh, well, this was a full tank build, Rattlesnake. A very good build, very tanky one. Imagine how tanky this ship would have been if it had rig integrations. Basically, very
Warp
similar
drive
to the
active.
build that I use on the Rattlesnake. Full on resistance and shield repair. Easily up to 92-95% resistance on the Rattlesnake cold, by the way. With only the adaptives being active.
Autopilot
Damage control
disabled.
might be a very interesting idea. Now, next target we have one Belgorn. The Belgorn is a armor tank. They have webbed the Raven. I will approach the Belgorn. They seem to be using dual armor repairs, but I have barrage and triple gyro stabilizers, and as you can see, the tank of the Belgorn has been removed very efficiently. Barrage is on cooldown, and the Belgorn pilot is back in Yita. Well, that was a very satisfying kill. Unfortunately, no Blood Raider debris have dropped, but I think we did get some Predator webs. Now let me warp away and let me cloak.
Warp drive
Yeah, I
active.
know, I've never thought that I would say those words while flying a Machariel, but a Black Ops Machariel. As you can see, very lethal and very sneaky. And of course, as with the other angel ships, very quick. The Machariel is known to be one very quick battleship. Okay, cloaked, and now let's take a look at the Belgorn kill. 6.5 billion, not bad. Pulse lasers, no tank, that's interesting. No adaptives. Basically a DPS Belgorn with armor tank. And even DPS combat rigs, very interesting. Well, the Machariel is definitely... Oh! Well, that was a very nice loot drop, 496 million. Next target, we have another Machariel, and we have a barrage Machariel party going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Machariels. My apologies. 5 Machariels, including the one that's about to get destroyed. Well, now it's 4 Machariels. That was a nice kill. I even forgot to use my own barrage, and somehow I did get the kill. Well then, let's orbit the gate and let's take a look at the kill. 4.2 billion, not bad. That's a lot of angel ships over here. 3 gyro stabilizers, a shield tank, and 3 warp core optimizers. Well, not bad. Basically very similar to the build that I have on this ship, with the big difference in DPS and a massive difference in tank.
Warp drive active.
Now, it's time to go and engage one Apocalypse Striker. And against the Apocalypse Striker, I did decide to go with a reactive, adaptive, and 1 damage control, just in case if the Apocalypse has some of the laser implants, because they can be quite nasty, and I definitely do not want to take a full alpha hit from that, so I have decided to counter that with resistances. With this build, I should have around 92% resistance on EM, which should help at reducing the incoming damage from the lasers a lot, so I should be safe against laser implants in case this apocalypse has them.
We're under attack.
Okay, the tank
We're
of the
under
apocalypse has
attack.
been eliminated, damage control is active, the apocalypse is now making me the primary target. So for the reactives, the reactive is definitely doing a good job to reduce the damage as well as the damage control. The apocalypse target has been destroyed, very nice. Even with this build, I still have a lot of DPS, enough to break the tank of most ships. Let's take a look at the wreck. The damage control became a very valuable resource against those implants. And this apocalypse had some very interesting loot. Very interesting loot. Okay, let's take a look at the kill. 2.4 billion, not bad. Solid apocalypse striker, armor tank, heat sinks, triple webs, full on DPS build. Not bad, overall a solid ship. Okay, let's go to the next target.
Warp drive active.
I thought about making the Machariel warp faster, but I don't know. I don't feel like I have to do that. This thing already warps like a cruiser. Although my friend has a Machariel that can warp like a frigate, and that is really, really interesting. We have one Typhoon over here. Excellent warping. Let me quickly approach. They have been already tackled by the Stratios. Typhoon has been webbed
Enemy
and
ships
scrambled.
detected.
The Typhoon did use one damage control to minimize the impact of my barrage, but the tank is already going down. The Typhoon is into armor, the Typhoon is into hull, and the Typhoon has been destroyed. Nice. Let's warp out. I think I did use the barrage a little bit, you know, early. Usually, when you spot that someone
Warp
uses
drive
damage control,
active.
you should stop the barrage from working. That way, you can save the ammo for the full damage once damage control is deactivated. But this also works really well without a problem. I am slowly starting to really like the Machariel, even more than the Belgorn, because this thing is just so much fun. The speed is making this Machariel extremely fun. It's what I did feel when I was flying the Cinnabel for the first time. Those were some golden days with the Cinnabel. Next target, we have the Tempest. We have a Tempest. Well, barrage activated, and unfortunately I double clicked on the barrage, so it got deactivated pretty quickly. But the other 4 or 3 Machariels did have barrage, and they did do a very nice work at deleting that Tempest. That was a very nice kill. Now let me stop the ship and let me take a look at the kill. 1.3 billion, not bad. Micro drive, adaptives, gyro stabilizers. Unfortunately, we do not get the faction drones. Would be a very nice loot drop if we did get the faction drones.
Warp drive active.
And well, next target. We have, I think we have a battle cruiser. We did not have enough time to swap ships, so we just decided to go and yeet the Machariels. I have the clocking device, so it's not a big problem. Would be funny if... I actually thought once about a cloaking symbol, but that was a long time ago, and I think it did not work really well for that ship. There's the prophecy. Barrage engaged. Barrage will start working very soon. And the prophecy got destroyed. You know, I feel actually bad about that battle because they had to face two Machariels. A little bit of a overkill, but yeah, we did not have time to change ships. Basically, the prophecy was
Warp
already
drive
finishing
active.
with the mission. And now let me warp away. And when I finally land, we'll have to warp towards the asteroid belt because I would be locked in the anomaly. 410 million, very nice kill. Was actually worth to go and drop the Machariels on that prophecy. It was a very expensive one. Not expensive like some of the prophecies that I had, but you know, still pretty expensive. Well then, that was a very solid run with the Machariel. I really enjoy flying this ship lately. It's hilariously fun, and yes, I still hope for Barrage to be nerfed. The Barrage implant has to be nerfed, and I will make sure that the Barrage implant gets nerfed, because I will be using it on the Machariel basically every day. So, with that being said, I'm definitely looking forward for the next Machariel video, because you will see some very nasty DPS coming out of this ship. With that being said, hope that you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.